Greetings, Cosmos, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Being yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So, today, I'm going to go check out some kind of a swamp, lake, marsh, desert, a combination of the above. Alright, so I already partially explored the swamp. Let's see here, what's over here? So what I loved about this game when I was younger was the fact that you could jump into the water before you had the ability to be a fish. And you would take no damage, but would gain temporary invincibility as though you had taken damage. This way, Desert of Mystery. Alright. Hey, here's a guy. He says nothing. Pay no attention to the average middle-aged man standing by the sign. Leave him alone. Well, since there's no man standing by the sign, I'll just take this sign. Huh. He disappears if you leave the section. Alright, off I go into this not-so-secret place. Oh hey, there's an entity here. I am Agina. I sense something is happening in the Golden Land, the seven wise men sealed. This must be an omen of the great cataclysm foretold by the people of Hylian blood. Prophecy says the hero will stand in the desert holding the Book of Medora. If you have the Book of Medora, you can read the language of the Hylian people. It should be in the house of books in the village. You must get it, if you are the person who will be the hero. Well, that spells out a lot of stuff that I had to kind of pick up on my own as a kid. Neat. Gosh, I wish I had the Pegasus shoes. Alright, so I think these cacti do like 2 hearts worth of damage. Ooh, nice. Oh. I remember where I got one of the bottles, but not the other. And that is weird to me. Anyway, yeah, strange symbols. Read them with the Book of Mud. And I guess that's it for the desert for now. Considering how vast deserts get in later Zelda games, this is kind of disappointing. I forgot to check this place. Oh, boring. Yes, I could use the heal, but... Why'd you take my sign? It says plain as day to just leave me alone. Sheesh. Well, yeah, but your sign isn't you. And so I figured it was fine to take the sign, because you and the sign are not the same entity. Alright, let's see here. Crab. Those crabs are dangerous. I think they too do 2 full hearts of damage on hitting you. Alright, so. Oh gosh, this place is so much easier to deal with when you have a bow and arrows. I mean, what are my options here? Bombs? I only have 8 of them. Oh wow, I'm surprised that hit the bottom one there. Those bombs have a surprising range. You saw what I went through to get fish last time. Money is worth money. Take some rupees, but don't tell anyone I gave them to you. Keep it between us, okay? Nice! Oh, sweet. More bombs. One thing that I liked about the Game Boy Advance remake was numbers of bombs and arrows turning yellow when you had them maxed out. This unfortunately led to a bizarre obsession of mine with keeping them maxed out because I didn't like the numbers being in non-maxed out colors. I mean, the Game Boy Advance version was a joy to play, so it's not like it's bad. This enemy is so weird, like, I think it's the only one of its kind you ever see, and all it does is blow up, send tiny versions of itself scattering about, which quickly disappear. I've never figured out if there was supposed to be, like, I don't know, a prize for killing all the tiny things before they disappear or something? Ow. Yeah, those crabs are terrifyingly powerful. Sheesh! Nope, 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 nope. Oh yeah. I should come back here with the Pegasus shoes. A thing that I figured out on my own, kinda. I figured I could catch fairies in bottles on my own somehow. I didn't figure out how to capture why I should capture bees in bottles. But also, I figured out by running into things that things drop stuff, like that statue there dropping something awesome. Alright, and I think this is the last stop before going to, oh, I can't open the map in here. Fascinating. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think this is the last stop before going to the place marked on the map. Which is something that, at the time I was playing this as a kid, I really appreciated. Because it gave me a destination to go to, and or avoid. Yeah, there's no way. I actually took damage from one of those. I didn't know that those things could damage you. Fascinating. Whoops. Oh, you can't. Interesting. I think that crab is far enough. Ah! Sheesh. I just might die. Well, it's a good thing I have fairies. I am bad at dealing with crabs. Whew. Oh no. I think this game keeps track of the number of times you've died, but only if those deaths are, like, in dungeons. And I think this does include when you are revived by a fairy. That's in your inventory. Oh, thank goodness. Haha. Take being stunned, jerk. Alright, let's see here. Is there anything that's worth exploring on this side of the lake? Probably not yet. So I'll head out here. Wander this way. The boomerang is so useful. I remember at the end of the secret pyramid dungeon in the Game Boy Advance version, you'd get an alternate credits thing that told you how many times you had used each of your items. Most things were in the single digits. No, not single, double digits. A few things were in the single digits, like the cape and one of the staves. There was one thing in the double digit, or the boomerang was in the triple digits, and the sword was 4 digits. Mid to high 4 digits. Ow. I'm glad that most enemies are incapable of navigating stairs in this game. Alright. Hey there, person in here. I am indeed Sahasrara, the village elder and a descendant of the 7 wise men. All 7 of them. Oh really, Alex, I'm surprised a young man like you is searching for the Sword of Evil's Bane. Not just anyone can use that weapon. Legends say only the hero who has the 3 pendants can wield the sword. Do you really want to find it? Good. As a test, can you retrieve the Pendant of Courage from the East Palace? If you bring it here, I will tell you more of the legend and give you a magical artifact. Now go forward to the palace. So, when I was playing a version of this that I couldn't read, you can guess how much of that I understood. What I did understand was that there was a noise indicating something good had happened. And wow, it's amazing how quickly you can max out your rupees in this game. Like, I haven't yet, obviously, but... Anyway, yeah, I understood that there was something on the map. Several things on the map. I thought they were fruits. Does the red one look kind of like a cherry? And the green one looked kind of like a melon? Also, I love how rough the map is. Like, it doesn't literally accurately portray everything here, it just gives you a general idea of what's up. Ah. And once again, loving the fact that enemies are, hey, incapable of navigating stairs. Or apparently seeing you, if they haven't already spotted you when you're on the stairs. Alright. Cash money. Is there something wrong with my way of seeing things? Or am I only allowed 8 bombs right now? That doesn't seem right. I feel like it should end with a 5 or a 0. Huh, did that big one have a slightly different noise associated with it? That is interesting. I like how once you get up here, you can just ignore the spheres of doom. Oh, hey! They give you a lot of money if you look around, which is nice. Skipping over the spheres. Oh. Whoops. I'm gonna try and finish up this dungeon, because it's like the first one and therefore pretty short. Gosh, skeletons are a pain to deal with. Oh, right, and I forgot that sometimes individual enemies carry keys, which is a thing that I'm not sure happens often in other Zelda games. Let's see here. Compass. Now you can pinpoint the lair of the dungeon's master, but not, I think, treasure chests. Let's see. Telepathic talking. Here's a hint. You can use the treasure to defeat armored foes. Oh man, that would have been nice to know long, long ago, instead of having to learn through experimentation. I love how these, what are they, clay pots are more powerful than my sword. I don't know why that amuses me, but it does. Long before Breath of the Wild, Zelda games were still encouraging you to think with your environment and avoid direct confrontation if you could. Aha! I can carry, whoa, more than 8 bombs. There was something wrong with my perception. Alright, I'm pretty sure. Good job, me. There's a key in here somewhere. I just can't remember if it's under a pot or inside a skeleton. I do appreciate how the skeletons don't even care about your presence. Oh, this is why I needed that key. And now I can go this way. Oh my. Good job, me. I am very good at this. These pots are more than twice as powerful as my sword. Ah! I had forgotten that that defeating the enemies in this room was what triggered that. I was defeating all the enemies so I didn't have to deal with those. Well, and the enemies at the same time. I was actually looking for a switch to trigger those to fly off. One thing that I really love about this game is the whole get the big key to get the dungeon's treasure. Like, you can find the dungeon's treasure any time in the dungeon, right at the very beginning, somewhere in the middle, but you need the big key in order to open it. So it's there to, so that by having it show up early, they can tantalize you with it, going, oh, what is in that big chest? Like the first time good job, me. The first time I played, I didn't know what was in the big chest and was just so curious. And then once I realized after the first dungeon that the big chests had amazing treasures, I was hooked. The first time I played through, I didn't even bother killing bosses. I just, well, in the Dark World, I mean. In the Light World, I'm pretty sure killing bosses is mandatory. But in the Dark World, once I discovered that, oh hey look, one of the more efficient than carrying fish around ways of getting cash. I should have counted how many of those there were, but there was enough to fill up my cache. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about enjoying... Yes. In the Dark World. After I couldn't figure out how to defeat the first boss because somehow it hadn't sunk in that there was a pattern of using, like, not a completely consistent pattern, mind you, but a pattern nevertheless of using the dungeon's weapons to defeat the boss. Like, I hadn't figured that out by the first boss of the Dark World, so I just kept going from dungeon to dungeon, collecting the treasures and moving on. Except the 5th dungeon, I had to collect a treasure from the 6th dungeon first, and then come back. I like how this room makes sure you have access to arrows when they introduce this enemy. I also like how red versions of enemies tend to be the ones that you have to kill with a bow and arrow, whereas green ones are also vulnerable to melee attacks, sword. I also appreciate that these enemies drop arrows so you can, defeat more of them. Also, this dungeon is weird. Like, in the place where most dungeons have a symbol indicating that the boss is in the next room is nothing, the symbol for that was way earlier on. First time I played this, I didn't even think to use the bow on these guys because they were in fact vulnerable to my sword. Whoops. You need a certain distance between yourself and the boss to hit it with an arrow. That's glorious. Alright. Well, that's it for this dungeon. You won the Pendant of Courage. Take it to Sahasrara. 2 pendants remain. And I'll be doing that next time. Join me then.